In this video, we're going to cover calculated fields in pivot tables. So you can see I have this pivot table of the different product lines. I have the sales. I've modified this slightly from previous video. I added quantity ordered, so I know how many items were ordered and how much of total sales those items generated. So if I wanted to figure out the average sale value per item ordered, or rather the price, what I would do is I would do sales divided by quantity ordered. And that's telling me, on average, basically it's telling me the cost. It's telling me the average cost of per item. So you can see some are more expensive than others, even though many vintage cars are sold at a high sale value overall. The price per item is low. We can check that by region or other things. Really, we'd want to do that within a pivot table, though, not as a separate calculation referring to the pivot table, if possible. So it is possible, and I'll show you how to do it. We go to Analyze, Create, under Fields, Items, and Sets, go to Calculated Field. And then you'll see Insert Calculated Field. We can name it something. We're going to just name it average. I usually call them something like calc, and then average price. Okay, just so I keep it straight. And I can rename the column later anyway. So we're going to say sales, and we're going to divide by quantity ordered. Sales divided by quantity ordered. Add, you have to hit add before you hit OK. And now it actually added it down here as well, and you can see it added here. Hit OK, and now it's added automatically over here. I'm going to wrap the text. And I'm actually going to rename that to, I'm going to go to Value Field Settings, just turn this to Average Price, and under Number Formatting, I'm going to go to Currency, make it dollars and cents, or just dollars rather, and there you go. We have the average price. I'm going to rename that again. Average price per item. There you go. So that was easy. It's built right into the pivot table. Any filtering I do is going to apply to this calculated field as well. And it's really that simple. Now I want to show you some things that happen when you start using calculated fields like this. So I'm going to show you that, I'm going to go down here. And we're going to remove sales from here. And we're going to put in our calculated average price. Now you notice that every pivot table referring to that same data set actually has any of the calculated fields that we created added to it. And that's true with any of the items in here for like either calculated field or calculated item. They get added to all the pivot tables that refer to the same data, which is usually a good thing, but it can be a challenge in other cases, which we'll talk about in a later video. For the moment, we're going to add this here, and I'm going to have to change this value setting a little bit. So I'm going to make this a currency value again, and that looks much better. Okay, now you'll notice right away we have an error here, and that's because I don't have any sales for a space shuttle in Japan. So I got a div 0, which is kind of ugly looking. So to solve that problem, it's very easy. We just go to pivot table options, and in a previous video we defined how you set an empty cell to be 0. I'm actually going to change that back to the default, which is empty. But here you see for error values show. So for error values, it's just showing div 0. But if I wanted to show a blank, which is a much more attractive option, I'll just click this, hit OK, and now it will show a blank instead, which is a much better option in general. You'll also notice that the grand total has to be thought about differently. It's not actually, it's not summing these or anything like that, as it should not. It's actually calculating the average price per item for all classic cars, irrespective of location. And here it's calculating the average price of any of these items, irrespective, only within Asia Pacific, only within Japan, only within North America, etc. So, and then this is just the average price of all items, irrespective of everything. So that's the way to think about it. These grand totals are like the total version of that calculation. Then what would have happened if we had done sum of the sales as one pivot table, and then as a separate pivot table with the same filtering, sum of quantity ordered, and then divided them across each other. That's basically what it's doing under the hood. Okay, thank you so much for joining. Please share and subscribe and ring that bell so you can see more videos as they come down the pike.